Designed 100,000 litres of koi heaven. Lots of things going on.
My favorite place at all upon college, right there. We are in England at Pond College. I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy, and I'm seeing my longtime friends, Mark and Charlotte Wilson, who are the owners of Pond College, our distributor out here in the UK. What's up, Mark?
How are we doing?
This is so fun. It's good to be back, Charlotte. Why would I not get introduced by first to Charlotte? Hello.
She was working.
And Luke. All right. This is so fun. So this is your dream. You are supporting him in his dream.
100%.
So I should really talk to you. But when we first met 11 years ago?
Yeah, 2013.
2013, 11 years ago.
Yep.
Met this young bloke, came all the way over, our first English contractor that came over, and you fell in love with the Aquascape methodology.
Yep.
And you brought it back to the UK, and you created basically a little heaven.
Yeah, water feature gardens.
So why don't you give us a tour of your creation out here? Where in the UK are we?
We're in Northamptonshire.
Say it again.
Cornhill, Brook, Northamptonshire.
You see why I let him say it? Why don't you give us a tour of your dreams?
You've probably seen this on the channel, but if not, this is our front door falls display. Daniel from Brick Ponds put that in about 2000, I think, and then we'll go round a tour. This is a rainwater harvesting system, which basically catches all of the rainwater off of the roof and stores it, and then we can irrigate the garden with rainwater. So the Serencenas, the pitcher plants want rainwater if we want any soft water. Sustainable water feature, it keeps the rainwater sweet. If you have rainwater in a barrel that's stagnant, you'll get mosquitoes, where when you've got moving water, it keeps it sweet. And you've got a bit of a moss garden. This was a bit of an experiment. This is my Mark's moss garden. It's a passion. So essentially moss, aquatic plants. We set some orchids in there, marsh orchids. They're southern marsh orchids. They're quite rare, but they are a native flower and they pop up all over the place. They're obviously the first year this year. We will move this. We will have a driveway coming through here. So this bit we've just sort of like left because that will be our new entrance, and then basically people will be able to drive in. So we've got the painted urns and we've got some fish. Basically show people what you can have in your pond. So we've got a few fish in here. The reason why I put this in is more for education, inspiration and education, to inspire people. This is a Tory gate that Wayne from Olympian Water Gardens did. This is a still water aquarium. So again, it's working with still water, no filtration apart from the plants. So the plants become the biological and the mechanical. You do have to do a bit of mechanical filtration, but come around here and have a look at this. We've got some rare red ram's horns. So they're normally black, and we've got red ram's horns. It's sort of almost like, this is again another experiment. There's no filtration, it's just the plants, and simply it's a case of I wanted to create an aquascape without filtration, without inside controlling the environment. So we've basically got the sun, so we've got lots of algae or what have you. Here's Luna, she's been in the pond. Let's go to the next break. So this is the lockdown pond. This is what I built during lockdown, 5 meters by 7 meters, about 30,000 this particular one. This was the first display that we put in, more of a showcase, what you can do with a kit. So essentially a case of, we got the large Aquascape pond kit and we put it in the ground. Rather than me doing all sorts of custom stuff, I thought let's use the kit and let's get it in. Then we've got a sphere, simply recirculating, disappearing sphere. We've got a water wall over there. There's lots of different features. It's a bit of everything. If you want water feature ideas, we've got loads of water features in the ground. Let's go and have a look over here. So when we put in the large pond, people wanted to look at the new filtration. So we found people walking up the bank, or I would take people up the bank. So we put these steps in, and Daniel came in and created, to my design, bit curviness. So then you can see the 6,000 biofilms. I actually like the lockdown pond from up here. When it gets a bit later on, the full sun on here, it's a real good shot of the pond there. We've got a few fish in there just to keep a bit of interest. Loads of dragonflies, loads of damselflies. Now we move on to Charlotte's garden. Charlotte's my wife. What we wanted to do is create another garden here. So I basically said to Charlotte, right, you're a DIYer, you're not a professional, you've not put in water features for years and years and years. I've been doing it for 25 years, and I said, let's do the DIY garden. So this is all your project. So she put in a very small pondless waterfall, a very small pond, and another disappearing water feature there. And then Charlotte had never had a garden before or designed a garden, and it was very interesting because I basically did the floating Zen garden, which is here. Look at that. So what we've got here is we've got a Zen meditation garden, and literally the kids love playing on the stones because they think that it's lava. What this is it's basically a replication of mountains and water, and you've got got a floating deck, so it looks like that's floating over the surface. We've got a moss wall, we've got water lilies that I love with the mist maker. It's just a lovely place to think about now. You're not allowed to think about the past, you're not allowed to think about the future, always about the now. And raking the gravel, it's part of sort of like Tai Chi in the morning. Let's go and have a look at a small stone garden. So what we basically did here is we used small stones. So the reason why I created the small stone garden was simply Luke, one of my guys, built a lovely dry stacked wall here. He did a fantastic job. I just said to him, right, this is your garden now, so every single stone in this garden is 25 kilos or less. And he created this after an inspiration waterfall walking. We do waterfall walking, we do events here at Pond College, and after waterfall walking he wanted to emulate a glacial melt, so we did that. Now we'll move on to the NRG, which is a big huge sort of like commercial. What I wanted to do is I wanted to create something with a bit more impact, so we put some urns and bowls here. Let me switch it on for you. So what I wanted to do with this feature is again use a large pondless kit. So we used the large pondless kit here and doubled it up. So I've got 2 pumps, 2 pump bolts, 2 lines, and there's lots of water. You can probably tell the noise, it's lots of energy. It's completely polar opposite to the Zen Garden. This is about energy. We do a venture walk. It's a little early in the morning now, so it's not in full sun, but later on in the afternoon, this is a real sun trap. But this is more for a commercial space, so it's really designed for a bit further back. So you can see the bowls are starting to go now. We've actually had 8 people work on this particular water feature. Lots of water in motion. The waterfall at the bottom is my favourite sound in the garden. It reminds me of running the bath, but against all of that white noise, it competes. So we'll turn that off in a second and I'll show you that. Then we move on to the owl pond. This is a small owl ecosystem pond. The reason why it's called the owl pond is we've got a number of owls. So when I built the lockdown pond, I was driving to see one of my customers and I saw the owls, the carvings, and I bought one of those to bring back for the lockdown pond. And then what we did is we basically created a small aquascape ecosystem pond, skimmer on one side, waterfalls on the other. We keep certain things on show because we're inspiration and education, where in your garden we can basically disguise it. Now what I want you to do is look at the NRG, because this is where it's sort of like designed this sort of distance away. You know, if you've got a big garden and you want big impact, it's not an intimate feature, it's more for further away. I'll switch it off and then you'll hear my favourite sound in the garden. So the beauty of pondless waterfalls is you can switch them off. They're really low maintenance. If you want to go away on holiday, you can go away, you can switch it off. If you've got children, you can literally design it to be really child safe. Now you can see that this, listen to that sound. So the sound reminds me of running a bath, and that causes relaxation. So what I want to do is create a low, deep, rumbling sound out the front. But that's my next project for out the front, maybe Aquatic Art Live next year. Now what we're going to move on to is we've got Freddie's Pondless Waterfall. We've got Luke and Stephen's pond. So this was part of a build a pond day we had here at Pond College, and Luke and Stephen ripped this out and basically did their magic. So we created a lot more with the rippled urns and the spillway bowl. Also just behind you, what we've got here is we've got the MJ stone. So this is a bit of fun and games. It's about getting it up on the plinth, and I've got different exercises. This one here is designed to pick it up off the floor with your fingers. You progressively move from which finger, which one you can pick it up and put it up on the plinth. And then we've got different size stones. This one's a one-hander. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. You're literally not allowed to put your hand underneath and put it up on the plinth. Then we've got different sizes. This is 170 pounds or 80 kilos. This one's 120 kilos or 260 pounds. And it's basically the MJ stones is pick it up, get it up on top of it. It's just a bit of fun and games. Now we move on to the koi palace. This is a passion project, and a lot of my fish from home have come here because we spend a lot of time in the garden.
My favorite place at all of Pond College, right there.
So essentially what I did is I was going to Japan last year, and somebody asked me, what would you do if you went to Japan and bought a fish? And I said, I'm going to build it a palace. So essentially what we did is we designed 100,000 litres of koi heaven. Lots of things going on. Yes, it's only 1 year old. Still got a lot of planting to do. We've put a fence up this year to stop the otters from taking these huge beautiful fish. But you look at it, 3 foot deep. We've got an intake bay on one side and we've got a huge wetland. But some of these fish are 19 years old. The real big ones are all 4 years old. So it's not about the size and the age. It's about the conditions that they're grown in, the amount of food that's available. Essentially a case of we built this, it's a pond that you can get in. The reason why I wanted to do the architectural walls is essentially in the UK we have a lot of formal koi pools, and what I wanted to do is showcase koi with the aquascape style with gravel on the bottom. And I created one one side which is more formal with curved architectural walls, and then the other side is more natural. And as you can see, we've got a lot of brown ironstone. We've had a lot of people come from America to come and help us. We've had Brian from Aquascape come and help. He spent a couple of days with Aquatic Art Live designing and essentially putting in the backbone. And then what we did is we had Sean Frost and John G, and they came and did a little bit more edge treatment for last year's Aquatic Art Live. As you can see, Luna loves the fish and she might get in there. She's obsessed with the fish. She'll literally spend most of the day. It's probably a little bit cold at the moment, but when she gets too hot, she'll just walk straight in. This one here was Drinker. It's a bronze. This was a wedding present that we got when we got married about 19 years ago. It's a beautiful water feature, and it's simply, I just love the ripples. If you look at the wetland, it just creates those ripples, and it's the ripple effect. Everything starts with a ripple. So this is the upflow wetland filtration system, and then it flows into the main body of the water. The reason why I had it at this level was the fish can swim in and out of the filtration system. So let's go and have a look at the large stream that John G put in at the first Aquatic Art Live. And this is a 10-meter stream, or 35 foot long, and it's a beautiful feature. Lots of interactive points. The kids love this. They love to get in the shallow water up there. They literally bathe, and they can do an adventure walk. So the education with the children is, it's sort of like it's safe, you know, hold their hand and they can go on an adventure walk. They can walk through the water. So we've got a spillway bowl display. It goes really nice with the aqua blues. As you can see, we've got colour changing lights on there. We've also got a fire element on the top one. It's very, very simple to bring it into a sort of like a formal setting. The spillway bowls are one of the top selling decorative water features after the urn. So this is the medium size urn. Again, it's recirculating. It's on an Aqua Basin 45. The reason why I put this in is very simple. It's keep it simple, and as you can see, there's a huge impact. Yes, you can manipulate it. Yes, you can cut them down. We've got loads of different features. This one is literally out of the box. It's very, very easy for DIY customers to install this themselves. Literally dig a basin. It takes about an hour, hour and a half, get it level, and then it's literally plug and play. Put it on. The birds absolutely love this. We've got a feeding station, and they come and wash, and they peck on the sides of it. It's really good. The last feature of the tour is graceful. What we've got here is we've got the same size footprint as out the front, but the boulders or the stones are a team set stones. So we've got one person lift out the front, and we've got team lift boulders here. So my name's Mark, the Pond Advisor, and I'll support you dream, plan and enjoy ponds and water features. Thanks for coming.
It's mind-blowing to me that anybody would want a swimming pool when you can do that. Right now, I just got out of swimming in that biologically filtered water feature with fish and having fun. I will tell you right now, I will not take a shower today because I feel natural. When I go into a chlorinated swimming pool, I do not feel natural. It's so much more interesting to swim with fish and to be in nature and to have the dog with me than it is to just be in a chlorinated swimming pool. And we're in England. You don't get so many sunny days like this. It's a water feature, a decorative water feature. It's enjoyable 365 days a year, even when you're not swimming in it, because you're looking at your fish, you're listening to the sound of that waterfalls. If you're interested in creating something just like Mark has done out here at Pond College, check out the link below to see other certified aquascape contractors' recreation ponds all over the world. I love my job.